How's it going, everyone? Okay, today we are installing this. This is the Bushman DH30 HD Drawer Fridge Freezer. We have the Bushman Fridge on one side, and we've been lucky enough to have the Bushman freezer. So we've always considered having a freezer because on the far side, we've got the space, and our Bushman, our 130 litre Bushman fridge the freezer on it is very small. So, but this can also be a fridge. So if you want a bigger fridge, 2 fridges, or 1 fridge, 1 freezer, now we have that ability. We're gonna run through the install. It's actually really simple, but just keep in mind, we're putting it in a canopy. Obviously, a lot of people put these drawers in the back of your wagons. So this is how we're doing it for our canopy. A little bit different, let's show you why. So this is the canopy. You would have seen it in all our other videos. Very simple. So we have this space here. That's all our crap. Thing to mention, and we had the same, not issue, but same dilemma, I guess, when we put that's the back of the fridge, and the drawers and everything is we've got this little lip here. So older canopy, cheaper canopy. So we've got a bit of a lip, and obviously the freezer is like, if we were to put it flat, it would hit this. So we have to kind of mount it up on something. For our situation, we've had to prop it up on some wood blocks, which I will mount into the canopy, and then it's kind of the prototype here. So that's the process we're doing at the moment. We're just kind of figuring out the height, how to line them up, and that kind of thing. So once we've got it installed, we'll show you the install. Once we've got it installed, we'll run through some of the awesome features. It's nice and simple. It's actually going to be really easy to put in, so which is a huge bonus. Easy to mount and really easy to wire in, because it's just got an Anderson plug. So handy. Already got a port for it. Let's do it. So the first thing I guess I had to figure out is the height of our little lip in the canopy. So had these bits of spare wood. They're the perfect height. So it means that'll clear the lip of the canopy. I've just got some brackets on the outside and on the inside of each bit of wood that's going to attach to the canopy floor, and that way that'll be held down. And then what comes with these brackets actually come with the freezer. So you get 4 brackets. There's 4 holes, existing holes. There's 4 existing holes on the side of the freezer, and they just go in there with your supplied bolts. Really simple, and it should be, you know, pretty much very secure on the bottom of the canopy floor. And what it does have, so it depends on how you want to mount it, but you can see under here potentially that it's got the little feet. But because of where they line up to that, I'm gonna have to take the feet off so the holes line up a bit better. So we'll do that now. Now, a couple of things to note. Obviously, this is the rear of the fridge, and you're gonna have to create ventilation. So fan, obviously all vents back and front. So it means you're gonna have to have a bit of space between where you want them. So therefore, we're really gonna make sure that we're not putting it all the way back to like right back. So it's gonna have, I think it's about 40 millimeters, which isn't much, but we might give it a bit more space because we've got a decent amount here. And then obviously there'll be a decent gap between the battery, and then a decent gap between anything we put there. And then it'll be integral that we make sure nothing falls down. So maybe I'll put something that kind of blocks anything from falling on there, making sure all those vents are always open. And then it is an enclosed canopy, but we do have a vent up there, and our fridge has been fine for years now. So we know that this canopy, there's the odd hole in it. It's not completely 100% sealed. We haven't had an issue with dust. It might be because of that. I forgot what that vent's called, but that helps when we're driving. So let's try and make sure that I've lined these brackets up right. Put them in the holes now. She's sweaty now. Lined them all up correctly, which is good. So they're all lined up and in. So I've only done them like finger tight or a little bit tighter with the drill. The idea here is to kind of just put this in so I can mark where the mounts need to be, or the wood. That way I can then pull it out, take this back off it, mount it, because a lot of my brackets are internal. So I can't get to those ones under there. But now that I know exactly how it will sit, we can kind of figure out exactly where we want it, how close we want it to the thing, whatnot. So we'll do that now. We've got it in. I'm just gonna mark where we're kind of wood is, where the brackets are. That way I can take it out, take the fridge off, put the brackets back in so they're in the exact right spot. We've kind of, one thing we have to be conscious of is this is where the door closes. So the latch up there We don't want it rubbing on here or damaging the fridge. And then the other thing is obviously the space. So we've left a decent amount of space between the battery, and obviously you're gonna lose a bit of storage space. That's just the nature of these kind of fridges. You just can't expect them to run with a heap of stuff around them. So I'm sure we can put some stuff on top if we're not doing anything rough. But yeah, this kind of area and underneath is essential for keeping this bad boy cool. So that is key to when you're installing it. So let's mark it now. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to actually drill, and we're actually going to mount, because I do have access to those little ones there, those outside brackets. So if I can put the holes in those two and those two, I might just be able to. That way when we pull this off, that should stay in place. Then I can just do the others, put it back in, and Bob's your uncle. Gotcha. All right, now lost about a litre of sweat. I've undone them and got 4 in of them. So in theory, I'll go get my helper. We'll take this out, we'll place it down there. I'll drill in the next holes. Mount should be done. And then we should be able to put this back in, screw them in, we're good to go. And then here, that Anderson plug that I've always had there is just a backup for certain things, will be what this one plugs into. Run it down the bottom, plug that in. Should be able to test it like pretty soon. Obviously there's things to note when this is going to be empty. I think the compressor runs for like 24 hours, so I'll probably plug it into mains power just so we're not drawing the battery, because we're not on to solar, it's not on the car. And then there is another little thing we need to do. There's a little hose which when you defrost it, water comes out. So I want to make sure my canopy doesn't fill up with water. So I'm going to either drill a hole in the bottom of the canopy so it just drips out, or maybe I'll make like a little jug or cup or something to put under there. Then I don't know how I'm going to empty it. Now we'll figure that out. Two to go. That's tomorrow's 40 and the next day is 40, so today was the coolest day I could do it. Brackets are in, they're screwed in, just using metal screws. I didn't use bolts because I didn't have any. These will be fine. Use a lot of brackets, and by the time, not the best brackets, but for what we're doing, for roads we go on, plenty. All right, gotta get my helper again, put the fridge back up, hopefully it fits, we're good to go. One in?
Yep.
Yeah, when I did do mounted the wood, those brackets, it kind of pulled it in a bit, but pulled in a couple of mils, so we're kind of able to just push it out. And it means that now these are nice and tight. Really easy to line up because I did it before. I'm glad I did it the first time. So no wiggle room, nice and tight. Brackets are all in. Now it's time to turn it on, test it. I'm just gonna plug the battery into mains first. Let's give it a whirl. Battery's on, like canopy battery's on, and now we can just plug it into our Anderson, which I have fused already, but there's also a fuse on the back of this fridge. And then we'll have a look at how the settings and everything work. Well, but that says 24, so I assume that's the temperature of the thing, and then once you press up or down it shows you the temperature of what you want to set it to. So we're setting -15, you go 14 all the way up to the pluses, which is obviously then your fridge setting. Put it way down to, I think the maximum is -16, oh, 18, -18. We'll just set it to -10 for now because it's obviously going to be working quite hard. That's obviously on and off. A really strong metal latch here, really nice finish like I've spoken about before, the brackets and the bolts, and that's not pretty much all there is to it. Then you've got your, already cool, your dividers, and yeah, the drawer, nice runners which can obviously come out to clean and whatever. Solid door and dividers that come out for larger things. So we might put some cold stuff in there to help it cool down, and then I'm actually going to put the canopy on the car. Might go in the aircon for a break first. So a good thing to do is to put some cold things in the freezer as it's cooling down. These are probably going to melt a little bit because it's still at 20. It's gone down to 21 already, but they're just icy pulse, so they'll freeze again. And we've got some ice block thingies like this to give it a helping hand. Holds more than you think. All right, so one of the last things we need to do, which everyone might do something differently, but I'm going to make a little hole in the bottom of the canopy, because it's full of holes anyway, and I'm gonna feed the hose through. So this is the hose that you get, and if you can look there, that's the little nozzle. I think when you defrost it, but just in case any like excess water or moisture gonna come out of that, I'd rather it go through onto the tray of the car, because I'm sure it'll evaporate quick and it's not gonna be like excess water. Because we've got this space under here, which will be no different because water gets under there when it rains or whatever. So I'm just gonna feed this to the bottom of the canopy. And so any water that comes out just drips outside of the canopy rather than into our floor and affecting our wood and stuff. So from the bottom, because we've got it jacked off, I'm just gonna drill a hole roughly this size and feed it up. That's the install. We're going camping very soon, so we're gonna actually give it a good workout and see how it runs, see how it performs with our battery and that kind of thing. So looking forward to it.